Hey guys, what's going on? Colin here, jumping in at the top of this episode to hit you with a little bit of information. As always, appreciate you guys listening, whether it's our Patreon, our Bad Crystal Breaking Bad podcast, the main feed. Any listeners are very appreciated. We always appreciate you guys' support. But this episode is a little bit different. What we've decided to do is take some of our episodes from our Patreon. That's patreon.com/midnight double feature. And we're going to rotate them on this main feed that's kind of dormant for, every now and then we're going to rotate one out. So it'll stay for a little while and then it'll be gone. And that's something you can only access on our Patreon. That's $5 a month. It's called The Green Room. We have hundreds of episodes up there now. Obviously, like if you join now, you're getting a lot of episodes right off the rip. I think there's over like 100. It's the only place really we cover movies now too. This main feed has kind of been a little dormant just between our Patreon and the Bad Crystal podcast, and then our Sopranos podcast coming up called This Thing of Ours. We've been busy bees, and we put a pause on the main feed for now, but it's something that we may come back to later on. But for now, we're putting out our Patreon episodes on a rotational basis to kind of drive people to check out our patreon.com/midnight double feature. Obviously, we're always going to be covering stuff. The Patreon's always going to be up, and we would appreciate any and everybody's support. We're also real big on our Discord right now. The link to that should be somewhere in the show notes. So if you want to join the Discord and you want to check out and become a member of that is growing like wildfire right now. We're having a lot of people show up towards the Discord. So definitely come and check it out. Check out our Patreon, and we'll appreciate you guys. We'll see you next one. Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Green Room, the VIP section of Midnight Double Feature. Thank you for being a patron. Thank you for supporting our podcast. And me and Zoheb here. Zoe, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, dude. How you doing? Thank you so much for
I'm good.
Green Room for listening to this.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We kind of had an idea for a bonus thing of like, what are your comfort shows, movies, stuff like I whatever. If you've got a book, if you've got a movie, if you've got a TV show, something that you like to put on, something that's kind of like your what feels like a nice warm blanket wrapped around you. And yes, what movie would do that for you? And I compiled a list, a few of them, nothing crazy, because I do have my go-to, like, I will search for 45 minutes for something on the Roku TV to fall asleep to, and I have my go-tos, but I don't like to wear them out. But why don't you kick us off? And what's your first one?
Yeah. Look, Schindler's List. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine? But no. So for me, it's not so much comfort movies. I definitely have comfort movies, and obviously I'll get into them. I like if I want something just to kind of like switch my brain off and just like sit down and enjoy it. It's gonna be a TV show. It's gonna be something like Parks and Rec. It's gonna be something like The Office or IT Crowd or Faulty Towers. Something that is like comedy driven. That I don't need to think about too much. And I think that's the way I approach like comfort movies also. We already talked about Scary Movie. I think any of the four first Scary movies probably to me are top notch comfort movies. Like, again, I don't need to think about them. Those like just cheer me up in any situation, rain, hell, or shine. But like if I'm going big, like probably, the first movie that jumped to my mind in terms of comfort movie was Jurassic Park. Like that movie is a warm blanket. That movie is, the way it ends. It's all, it's gorgeous to look at. The music is amazing. It's a world you just want to keep revisiting. unfortunately, when you do revisit it in sequels, it's not as good, but like still,
Yeah.
like, just that first one alone, it's just like the characters are great. The way that Spielberg builds everything up, the sense of wonder, in that first kind of like opening half hour, it's amazing. It's awesome. And yeah, I live for it, dude.
Oh yeah. Like I'll be honest, I don't think I sat down and watched Jurassic Park all the way through until the first episode of the podcast.
What?
Like that is not something
What?
we had in the house growing up. I saw Lost World before I saw the
my
first one.
God.
Because I was like, what, 4? I mean, when did the first one come out? 94, 92?
93.
Yeah, that's 3 years old. But for me, like comfort movie is kind of like what's something that I can just put on in the background, if I'm cleaning or if like I'm working out or something, or if I want something that I can just kind of throw on and we do have our TV shows like that. And that's just the stuff that we put on, like if we're eating, like the TV is always on in my house. I have to have TV on. I can't really just sit there without it. Like I have to have some kind of like noise in the background. And, for that, we'll put on stuff like Bob's Burgers or Futurama, King of the Hill, Frasier. There's like some shows that we put on like that if we're just like watching stuff. But for me personally, like comfort movies, like stuff that I watch and maybe it makes me think of a really good time, or it's just kind of like has fun memories. But really in no particular order, I have about like 5. And my first one in no particular order is Arachnophobia, the Jeff Daniels movie. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Or as I like to call an Australian Tuesday.
Yeah. This morning.
It's like, dude, yeah, that's you going to your car. It's just all these spiders everywhere. We watched that constantly growing up, and it's been. I think I own it on like DVD and Blu-ray. It's always streaming on something. So I can't tell you how many times I'm going to bed and I'm like, oh fuck, Arachnophobia, hell yeah, because the spiders don't really show up till about the end. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to bed just thinking about spiders and shit. I'm going to bed thinking about like John Goodman and Jeff Daniels and stuff. So I love that movie. I mean, we'll definitely have to cover that for the podcast someday because I love Arachnophobia, and I think that's Frank Marshall directed it, and that was like Amblin, him, and because I think Frank Marshall's married to Kathleen Kennedy, and them and George Lucas and Spielberg all own, I think, like Amblin together or something. Like it was a very like Spielbergian George Lucas kind of thing, and I think that's part of it that really makes it resonate with me. But I've always loved Arachnophobia, and it's like the spider movie, like Eight-Legged Freaks. I grew up with, that came a little bit later on, but Arachnophobia is like, oh my God, especially living. I mean, for us in Tennessee, we do have a lot of spiders. I'm sure it's nothing compared to what you guys have, but like, we have spiders galore. Brown recluse is really bad. Sometimes black widows, but like my mom last year got bit on the leg by a brown recluse, and she's like 70 years old. So they had to give her a lot of meds and stuff like that. So it's not a huge, like, it's not a real threat like for you guys. I mean, those things will fucking pick you up and fly away with you. But that was my first one that jumped to mind of like, what's something I'm putting on, I'm falling asleep, and I just want to feel like, like falling asleep in bed. It's got to be Arachnophobia.
That's a good pick, man. I like that. My next one is probably, you're probably going to be like, what the fuck? But it's a genuinely great movie with great comedic timing and really well written. Fucking Mean Girls.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I need to watch it.
It's so good. Like, actually, genuinely so good. Like, really well acted, really well paced, and fucking hilarious, man. Like, actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
is that the one where he's like, describe your perfect date? And she's like, oh, I don't know, March 25th or something like that. Is that Mean Girls? William Shatner?
I think so from memory. I can't fully remember.
I can't find. I've just seen clips of it.
But man, like there are moments, like there are jokes in that are just have aged so perfectly well. It's just a good time. And I have no shame to fucking admit that I'm a 27-year-old man who likes Mean Girls.
Yeah, fuck it.
It's
I mean,
good,
dude,
man.
It's Tina Fey, dude. She's a boss.
Right, yeah, Tina Fey. And goddamn, why am I forgetting her name? Rachel McAdams, right? I mean, Rachel McAdams fucking killed it. Yeah, absolutely. It's solid, dude. Great fucking movie. And like, honestly, you can put it on and again, will make you smile. Just, again, warm blanket.
Because I've always seen really good things about Amanda. Is it Seyfried? Seyfried, whatever. Yeah. I've always heard really good things about her before.
Dumb bitch in that movie. It's so good.
that it's so like over the top. It's like so perfect. But I've been meaning to see it. I've never watched Mean Girls, but I like Tina Fey as a writer. And I loved her on I love 30 Rock. I used to watch the hell out of that. But so is that all you got to say about me? Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't cutting you off. Again, when I try to think back of like what's something that I watched that I feel almost like because to me comfort movies can kind of be in the realm of nostalgia. They'll typically they end up being somewhat nostalgic for me, and not like nostalgic as in like, oh, I'm gonna go watch The Sandlot. That's just pure nostalgia. That's not a comfort movie for me. That doesn't, like, if I'm having a bad day, I'm not going to put on maybe I might put on The Sandlot. I don't know. It wouldn't be my first pick though. But one of my first picks, if I'm not feeling great, if I'm feeling kind of bummed out, if I want to watch something that's going to kind of pep me up and give me some energy and make me feel better, make me laugh, it's got to be the first Jackass. Like the first Jackass movie is like, dude, I am listening to Smash Mouth and I'm wearing like jeans that are too baggy. It's 2001. I have a bad haircut and I'm chubby. It's like, oh my God, that first Jackass movie, that ruled the fucking planet when that shit came out. That was such a big deal. And everybody tried to make their own. We did a bunch of stupid shit. We'd run into cars and like get on our bikes and like ram them into bushes and just stupid shit that wouldn't really hurt you.
Hey, I'm Peter Griffin and this is roof shopping cart. He breaks his neck.
Oh, dude, he's like like all those things are sticking out of his neck. Specifically, there's a part in Jackass that always makes me smile. It's my favorite part of the whole movie, but it's when they go to Japan and they're playing Turning Japanese as they're running around as pandas, right. And they run into that group of guys like. I guess it's some kind of martial arts and meditation, but they pick Wee Man up and everyone's like, they all kind of go up and it's so wholesome for like these guys who like eat shit and punch each other in the nuts and like tase each other. And it's this really nice moment of everybody and they're fucking each other up. They're running around Japan, like hitting each other in the nuts. Like one point, I think it's Preston Lacey shoves Wee Man into like a huge thing of like Japanese lanterns and it just wrecks this whole fucking stand. But there's something. I know the song is probably so not PC and terrible now is, Turning Japanese, but there's something so manic about that song that like when that's like I would, when things got crazy back when I worked in the restaurant, like Turning Japanese was like my, okay, here we fucking go. We're like, let's get fucking, kind of, because there's something so like, it is so manic and it's so like all over the place that it just, like that song, along with watching all those guys like go into the bar and take their panda helmets off and chug beers and put them back on and run out. And I was like, dude, this feels like a Beatles movie, with them like running around the town and all the girls following them. So Jackass, especially that part. But there's so many good, dude, the fucking Ryan Dunn with the car shoved up his ass. And he's like, listen, the doctor's like, listen, you go home. You don't tell anybody about this. I have just so much. Yeah, for real. I mean, I like all the first, those three of them. I'm really excited for the new one. But that first one is all
great.
Yeah. The third one, you're like, oh, how much more can they do? And they like ramp it up beyond the second one. You're like
fucking Claymore with ball bearings.
Dude, I was watching Steve-O's podcast and he had Dave England on, and Dave England was, because if you watch the movie, he kind of like cries. Like he's like, I'm not going out there. And he's like, I'm not doing it. And I think it was Bam
with the bees. With the bees, isn't it?
I'm thinking of the one where they set off that riot thing and it hits all of them in the stomach.
Yeah,
and it's Knoxville.
In Knoxville.
I think it's Knoxville, Dunn, and Bam, and they're all so fucked up. And they're like, no, I won't pierce the skin. And they hit a dummy with it, and it rips it to shreds. And Dave England was like, dude, I almost threw up. And those guys got like, Danger Aaron McGehee. He's on Steve-O's podcast, and he was like, yeah, I broke my neck like 3 times. I was like, holy shit. It's like, dude, please be careful. Like, I would love a new Jackass movie. I really would. But like, guys, seriously, like Johnny Knoxville's looking like Jamie Lee Curtis these days, and it's like, please be fucking careful, man. Like, I love you guys. Like, I don't want to see anything bad happen to you. And I just on a side note, I love where Steve-O's gone now, where it's like, I'm clean, I'm sober, I do a podcast. Like, thank fuck, man, because like I would have, after Dunn died, it's like turning on the news one day and like, oh, Steve-O overdosed. It's like, well. That's not
Yeah.
surprising, but it's like he pulled a total 180. I was like, that's awesome. Good for you, dude. I've always been very like, I guess proud is a weird way, but it's like, I'm just happy the way things turned out for Steve-O. You know, he seems like he was talking to Aaron McGehee, and Aaron McGehee's like, yeah, everybody kind of picked on me. You know, everybody kind of fucked with me because they could. And Steve-O's like, I never did though. And he's like, no, Steve-O never made fun of me, and he never like did anything to me. He's like the nicest guy in the world. And I was like, fuck, I like Steve-O, man. He seems so cool.
He does seem super nice. I really want to I want to subscribe to his podcast actually, because I didn't know he had one. But that's awesome because he is probably to date one of my favorite guests on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know,
Mhm.
like he was talking about like how he went sober and like how he regretted so much of what he's done. And
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely, man. Like he's a great interview.
Yeah, he's an
So
interesting
yeah,
person.
I want to listen to that for sure. Yeah, no, man, the Jackass movies are fantastic. Great comfort movies.
Yeah.
Really good pick. I don't know how I'm gonna follow that. But like I think my picks are going to mainly lean more into action comedy territory
Mhm.
because it's such a category that, you know, again, you can just sit down and enjoy after a good long day. Because like, look what's behind me, a fucking Tenet poster, right?
Right.
Like everyone's thinking, well, I'm gonna choose fucking Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan movies are not comfort movies to me. They're more of an intellectual exercise.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But like that doesn't make them any less enjoyable to me or like, you know, great movies. They are absolutely, but there's a difference between rewatchability and quality. My next two picks are going to be very tied together very closely. It's Bad Boys, the first one, and Rush Hour, the first one. Um, both movies are very similar. Both are buddy cop movies. Both action comedy movies. But like the pace of the jokes in those movies, dude, and especially the first Bad Boys, and especially the first Rush Hour. Man, I don't, like. There's just something about those that just absolutely always catch me off guard, no matter how many times I've seen them, dude. The first Bad Boys is Martin Lawrence, like because he keeps coming home late at night because he works as a cop. His wife makes him sleep on the couch, and like the next morning, he meets up with Will Smith, and he's like, "Man, I woke up next morning, I had a Power Ranger stuck up my ass. That was your night." I'm just like, there's just fucking timing in those movies. It's just so fucking good, dude. But yeah, like look, the first Rush Hour and the second Rush Hour. I don't fuck with the third one much. And I hate to give Brett Ratner credit, but like I mean those first two
Yeah.
movies are really solid. I mean like the interplay between Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan is just it's a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Right? One who doesn't talk a lot and one who talks too much. It's just it's gorgeous, it's amazing. Chris Tucker's line delivery and Jackie Chan's, I guess, action chops like really balance it out. And again, like just two movies that I can put on at any time, no matter how I'm feeling. Just yeah. Amazing.
Which Rush Hour is it that they end and it's Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan jumping off the top of the thing. He's like, "You crazy ass bitch!" And they slide
I
down
think
the
that's the
thing.
second one.
Dude,
That's the second
we
one.
quoted that all the fucking time. We said that, and like, what was that movie Eddie Murphy did with Owen Wilson and Famke Johnson? Like, I Spy, I think is the
I Spy. Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
I love that part where Owen Wilson's, you know, it's kind of similar as Rush Hour, but he's like, and when I get that feeling, I need sexual healing, you know, and he's he's singing the fucking song.
Sexual healing.
But no, Rush Hour, that's the one we watched a lot more, but I remember that where I think it's like an Asian woman and she's walking out, she's speaking, I can't remember what she's speaking, but she has that bomb and he's like, "You crazy bitch, you crazy ass bitch."
Yeah.
And they slide down the thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Because they're in a casino.
That's what it is.
And
yes.
like, yeah. So basically, she's put like a bomb inside his mouth and she's taped it around his like someone's head. So it's like they can't take the thing out. But yeah, it's
which Rush Hour is it
movie.
with the guy who has like this, like the buzz blonde hair? Is that the first one?
That's the first one.
Okay.
That's the first
Which
one.
is the one that has a little
Yeah.
girl singing in the car? And I can't remember what she's singing.
That's the first one.
That is.
She's singing.
Sing it for me.
I wish they. Oh,
No.
no. That's the first second one. I wish they all could be California.
You know,
Hold on. I'm trying to think of the first one.
I can't remember what she's
Hold on.
singing, but she's so adorable, dude. It's like one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. It's this cute little kid, and I think it's the dad and the driver like look at each other and they're like, "Oh God."
No, it's not the dad. It's like there's a bodyguard.
Oh,
and
buddy,
the driver.
that's what it is.
Fantasy by Mariah Carey. That's what she's singing.
Oh, okay,
Fantasy.
okay. I can't
Yep.
remember how the song goes. But yeah, Rush, dude, I haven't watched one of those in ages. This would be my third. Yeah, my third pick is, I didn't really watch the movie a lot as a kid, but I played the fuck out of the game and then found the movie. And through the movie, I can replay the game as an adult, and it's GoldenEye. I fucking love watching GoldenEye. I found his weakness. GoldenEye. Dude, I fucking love. Danny is like the James Bond guy here at Midnight Double Feature, but I remember, of course he grew up playing GoldenEye. We fucking loved that game. And the movie to me is super nostalgic now because I watched the movie and it makes me appreciate the video game a lot more. What they were able to do at that time was like, I don't think, GoldenEye was the first person shooter, but it was like the first, I feel like, to really like, okay, that was the first one that caught of course I was 7 or 8, but to me, that was like, okay, now even my dad, I mean, he was 40 something years old, and he got into playing GoldenEye with us. But, it makes me enjoy the movie. And as I get older, the movie, really, the MVP is fucking Sean Bean. He's the best, dude. Electravillian was like one of my first like real, like as far back as I can remember, like that is the textbook definition of like a villain. He's tall, he's got a facial scar, he's wearing all black, he's English. There was something about that face that was just so villainous to me as a kid, and it stuck with me. To the point that like I love James Bond going through and crushing that like walkover bridge with the tank, and you hear that and it has the statue on top of the tank.
Great moment.
Man,
Great moment.
GoldenEye is great. I can't wait to cover that too for the podcast. But yeah, that's my third, GoldenEye.
Nice, dude. That's a good pick. I love the Bond franchise, and yeah, absolutely. I think there are more than. I think GoldenEye, Casino Royale, even Skyfall. Skyfall's a bit slow to be a comfort film, but like, I watched the first 20 minutes of Skyfall the other night, and man, like it still fucks really heavy.
Yeah,
dude. Like there's a moment in Skyfall that might be one of my favorite Bond moments ever. Like, have you seen Skyfall?
I don't. Which one did we cover?
We covered Casino Royale.
Then that's the only one I've seen of Daniel Craig. Okay.
Okay. Because there's a moment in Skyfall when like he's chasing this guy on the back of a train, and like he falls inside like the carriage, and like he fixes up his cuff.
And it's
just so like he just shakes it off, and it's just such a great little Bond moment that didn't need to be in there, but it's just like, yeah, you are James Bond. Like, it's so good. I'm gonna hit you with a comfort film that I used to revisit all the time, and I fucking love to this day, and I don't give a shit how many people tell me that it's terrible. Billy Madison.
Oh, sure, dude. By no means do comfort movies have to be good. Like most of mine are not.
Right.
Like Jackass, Arachnophobia, GoldenEye, it's just downhill slope on my list after that. It's a downhill slope. And part of the charm,
Billy Madison, dude.
Part of the charm of these movies sometimes is that they are not great, is that they aren't like blockbuster or award-winning films, that they are kind of a little silly,
Right. Like, I mean, like, think about when I joked about Schindler's List. Fucking masterpiece, but, like, I'm not going to go ahead and revisit it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Madison is a movie that I grew up with. We used to have, like, because it used to play back-to-back on network television all the time with Happy Gilmore. So, 6:30, you used to have Billy Madison, because it's the more, I guess, family-friendly one out of the two, and then Happy Gilmore is on at 8:30, right? And like both movies back to back, But like Billy Madison, there's something about it to me that just really stuck out to me. I love the whole concept of like this guy, in order to inherit his father's like company, the father challenges him like to go through all the grades again. And then you have this like devious kind of like villain, uh, in Eric, trying to
Oh yeah, the
trying to
dad from
stop
Get
him.
Out.
Yeah, yeah. Who, by the way, he's in The Handmaid's Tale. He's fucking awesome, dude. Like he's like I love that actor.
Mm,
I'm
yeah.
blanking on his name right now, but like yeah, like he is awesome, dude. I love that movie. Like Adam Sandler's timing in that movie, like he's just hilariously stupid. But the movie knows exactly what it is, that it is a fucking stupid movie. Um,
Mhm.
you know, like there's just a
No shampoo is better. I
Yeah.
remember watching the first time watching it and going, "Oh my god!" And like, Jesus Christ! And I finished it, but I was like, "I'm definitely I am Team Gilmore.
Right.
You know, that's definitely my
but
jam."
like, you know, there's also the stupidity of like, you know, O'Doyle rules, and like you've got Chris Farley
Mhm.
as the bus driver, like, hey, like, you know, like he's
Yeah, but you could imagine.
yeah.
Like he's talking about that
Dude,
chick off the
Don't
bus.
get me started. I was
Nah,
like,
you didn't.
he's like, you know, me and a guy I knew, she and her got it on. Woo wee. No, no, they didn't. Nope, no,
Yeah.
they didn't.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you know, me and her used to have a thing. He's like, no,
They-
you didn't. He's like, well, a guy I knew. He's like, no,
They
you
didn't.
didn't. He's like, yeah, no.
Oh my god! But like, yeah, just all of it, dude. I love all of it. Like, you know, like just the movie knows exactly what it is. It's just pure, unadulterated, just. And I think, you know, there's an element of nostalgia. Like, I mean, like, you know, this movie can't come out today
Yeah,
and me
hell yeah.
liking it. There's no fucking way. But like, yeah, it's great, dude. Like from the Penguin Run, from the beginning to the end. Where, dude, did you see that guy's balls? Yeah, that whole thing. And then like Steve Buscemi showing up to save his life. Like, you know,
Oh, yes.
oh,
I love he crosses his name, sits down and puts the lipstick on,
Oh my
and
god.
puts like some record on. But let me see here. Where's my list? Yeah. Okay, so my last two, and this is one that's so random and obscure, but it was like the horror movie in my house growing up. For like, I'll be honest, my family members don't have you know, like a very picky taste in movies. Like I can be kind of picky about shit sometimes. You know, I'm not saying I can be a snob. I'm just kind of picky about what I like. You know, I'm not going to go see a Fast and Furious or a Transformers or something like that. But they probably would. You know,
yourself.
and like anytime we've gone, do what?
I'm just like, fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, dude. Anytime we've gone to the movies, like I think we went and saw the Unborn or like the Uninvited, one of those like movies that came out like 10 years ago. And we all went to the movies and saw it, which almost never happens. And then we also went and saw Predators because I can remember it's Walter Coggins, isn't that Walter Coggins who's in Django?
Goggins.
Walton Coggins. It's in Predators, and it cuts to him, you know, because he's like an inmate. He's like, I cannot wait to get back to Earth. I'm gonna do so much fucking cocaine, and I'm like, oh my god, my mom's like right there, dude. And I think he talks about like raping
Yeah, he's a
somebody, and it's
rapist
like
in that movie.
Jesus Christ. I was like, it's like your mom's right fucking there, and I was like, god damn it. But so this movie had like clout. When I was like 9 or 10, this movie had clout, and that movie was The Haunting with Liam Neeson and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it ever.
You know, you don't have to. You know, I'm just no. Okay, here's the thing. We had it on VHS, and around this time, like my brother was accumulating a lot of VHS tapes, and he was very proud. You know, we go to Suncoast Video, and you know, he had like all the Rocky movies. He got like, you know, like Smokey and the Bandit, you know, Tremors, like a lot of shit that we watched growing up. But he ended up getting The Haunting, and I loved it as a kid. And there's still parts of it that like. I love the mood of the movie. It's not great. It doesn't really scare me, but I love the setting. I love the feeling of it. I love the performances. Like, oh god, it's obviously I love Liam Neeson. But I can't remember her fucking name. She's the mom in The Conjuring. But she's
Lily
like
Taylor?
basically the lead in Lily Taylor, who I'll be honest, smash.
She looks a lot like Frances McDormand to me. Like, a lot.
Kind of, yeah. Like, I got to be honest. Like, you put Lily Taylor or Catherine Zeta-Jones, it's like, listen, I would love to smash Catherine. Nothing wrong with that. But there's something about Lily Taylor that's just so attractive.
Michael Douglas is a lucky man.
Yeah,
That's all
dude,
I'm
Jesus
saying.
Christ. But there's something about Lily Taylor that, like, ever since I, like, right around, like, I don't know, like 10, 11, 12, I start getting older, watch this movie. I was like, I don't know. I like Catherine Zeta-Jones, obviously, like Theo, the hot one. But there's something about Eleanor that I was like, I like that quiet chick. She's she's probably a freak over there. No, I'm just kidding. But
You're a fucking freak.
yeah, but like, you know, that was kind of one of my first experiences with Liam Neeson, because this was right around the time of like Phantom Menace and stuff. But I loved it. I love the feeling of it. I think that obviously the stuff that came before and after it, because it's kind of based on Haunting of Hill House. So obviously Shirley Jackson's book is really good. The TV show blew this shit out of the fucking water. I mean, come on. But I enjoy, you know, Owen Wilson, Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's not a very complicated movie, and it can be kind of goofy at times, but the aesthetic of the house that they're in. And I remember our VHS copy had the making of that you would follow afterwards, you know, and it would just come after the credits. And I remember watching that and how they built this whole mansion that they're in. And I was like, holy shit, this place is fucking gnarly. But that was like one of the first real proper, like, haunted house movies that I remember really enjoying. And even now, it's like I unabashedly enjoy. I don't love that movie, but I unabashedly enjoy it. And that's just something that like ran through my family for some reason. For whatever reason, we all loved that movie, and it's not great. It's really not good. But if you ever get a chance, if it's on, you know, don't pay for it. But if it's on, fucking watch it.
I'll stream it. Yeah, okay. Nice. All right. I guess my last, and like I'm going by like category now, so I guess I'm like cheating. But like my last category of like comfort movies fall into what I call the frat pack group. And this is like your Seth Rogen's, your James Franco's, your Jason Segel's, Jonah Hill's,
Right.
those kinds of movies. So at the top of that list is two movies. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Fucking love that movie.
I don't think I've ever watched that all the way through.
Dude, drop what you're doing after this podcast. I want you to go watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall. You'll have the best.
No, I'm gonna go watch Arachnophobia. Actually,
go watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall, dude. It's you'll have the best fucking time. So fucking good, hilarious, dude. Cameos from like Paul Rudd, Bill Hader, like it's amazing. It's awesome. And the other one is obviously Superbad, because how could it not be? I mean, like Superbad is one of the greatest comedies of all time, in my opinion. Like Seth Rogen, I was listening to a podcast with him. Oh, I've been listening to a new podcast called Armchair Expert with do you know Dax Shepard?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love Dax Shepard.
Yeah. He's got his own podcast called Armchair Expert. Really, really good. He's had some amazing guests, dude. Like fucking Barack Obama, for one.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, like I was listening to him and Seth Rogen chat about like how Seth Rogen wrote like Superbad pretty early on, and they made it when he was 22, and it's just such a personal story, obviously, because I mean the characters are named after like, you know, their childhood, like
right.
children. But like yeah, you gotta listen to Armchair Expert, man. Like it's fucking great.
I will, because I love Dax Shepard.
Yeah.
He's always fun, you know.
Yeah,
I like him and stuff.
He's so good, dude.
Without a Paddle.
Yeah. Well, Hit and Run was the movie that he made with Kristen Bell. I mean, like obviously they're married, but like,
that's right. I forgot they're married.
Yeah. So like all of those movies, you know, from Pineapple Express and you know, all of those James Franco, Seth Rogen productions, I really enjoy. I mean, like, and it sucks that they, you know, had a bit of a falling out now, but like those, there's something about the comedy in those movies that I really enjoy. You know, Jonah Hill, obviously. In Forgetting Sarah Marshall, there's a moment in it when Jason Segel's just eating like dinner or some shit, and Jonah Hill walks up because he's playing like a busboy, and he goes to take like his plate, and Jason Segel's like, "I'm not done with that yet," and then just out of nowhere, Jonah Hill's like, "Okay, I'll just go fuck myself." Jason Segel's like, what the fuck? Where the fuck did that come
I
from?
love, dude. That reminds me of Super Bad, where I can't remember what happens. What is that sign? Somebody says something. And he's like, ha, 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 "Fuck me, right?" You know?
Fuck me, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
love
I
those.
also-
I love that category of movies, like that.
Yeah. I was just talking with somebody because I kind of have like two final ones, but I'll just bam.
Yeah. We can jump into listener suggestions after this as well, because we got a few.
Yeah, there you go. There's a movie called Bandits with Billy Bob Thornton and Bruce Willis and Cate Blanchett, and it's not anything like amazing, but I think I've mentioned it before. But it's actually a really solid flick, and it has like January Jones is in it, but I don't even think she has dialogue. She's a very like minor character. Smash. But there's so many good moments in that movie, and it's you can usually find it streaming anywhere. But Billy Bob Thornton is great in it. Bruce Willis is great in it. It's got like a lot of actually really good people. And basically they rob banks, but what they do is they show up to the bank manager's house the night before they rob the bank, and they stay the night there. And then in the morning they take everybody hostage, but it's a comedy and everybody's like loosely cool with it. And it's super funny. But they take they take the bank manager hostage and they go in the next morning. And then when everybody shows up, they just take everybody hostage and they clear out the vault, and that's what they do. But eventually it ends up catching up with them and they have to figure a way out. So it's pretty good. But Bandits is like a comfort movie. But I want to run in the vein of what you were talking about of these comedies, because I do have like a five cast thing of movies that all kind of fall into the same category, but all kind of don't at the same time. And, it's like Waiting, Ryan Reynolds. I worked in a restaurant. I saw that movie in 2005 when it came out. It's super homophobic now. It's super tone deaf on a lot of shit, but I can't help but there's so much nostalgia in it for me. But my adult version of that I can watch and, guilt free is Slam and Salmon. The guys from Broken Lizard. That's Slam and Salmon's, I think, one of the funniest movies ever made. I've talked about it so much. It's so fucking hysterical. And it came out. I started watching it heavily when we were working in restaurants with people. And of course, we just worked a 13-hour shift. Somebody's got some blow. Let's all go hang out and fucking watch movies and shit. So, we're sitting there and, of course, this is like 7 years ago when I was a lot younger. But we'd all hang out, and everybody be, just partying and shit. And as we're winding down, it's like, have you ever seen Slam and Salmon? And I would put it on. And I'm talking about for the next 2 years, you've got like 9 people quoting this movie. And it felt great to spread that to people who were in your service industry. But Slam and Salmon is one of them. It's great. But there's this line of movies like The Goods with like Jeremy Piven and like David Koechner and stuff. And it's a lot of, here's the thing, the look that you're giving me, what the fuck is this? They're movies that like I'm not shocked by that at all because they're so small caliber. Like Waiting was kind of bigger, but these movies that are like in The Goods, they end up having to sell all the cars on the lot in like 3 days. And Slam and Salmon, they have to make $20,000 by the end of the night or they lose the restaurant. And it's kind of movies like that. There's
like a small stake kind of like understandable kind of thing.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Right. And even stuff like The Other Guys is kind of like that movie to me. Like they're like, it doesn't have that kind of like stakes element, but they're, it's just, it pokes fun at the buddy cop genre. But stuff like Slam and Salmon, stuff like Waiting, stuff like The Goods. But
Office Space sits right next to Waiting for me,
yeah.
I think.
Office Space is really good. Maybe not in terms of quality, but I'm talking about like compared to like Slam and Salmon and shit. But the last one in that line for me, because you said Dax Shepard, is fucking Employee of the Month with Dane Cook. I love that movie. I love it, and it's so stupid. And Dane Cook is just a box boy at like a big, like Costco or something like that. Jessica Simpson shows up, and all of a sudden he starts competing with Dax Shepard. Yeah, Smash. Starts competing with Dax Shepard, Smash, to get employee of the month. But it's got like Harlan Williams, who's the cop that pulls them over in Dumb and Dumber. That guy. He is fucking hilarious. Like his stand up it's weird. It is so fucking weird, but he is a hilarious individual. And he was on Bobby Lee's podcast called Tiger Belly. If you ever get the chance, like Bobby Lee's a weird little dude and he's dirty and disgusting, but he has great Andrew Santino. He has like Brandon Schaub. He has a lot of like very, very fucking funny people on his podcast. He just did one with like Tom Segura's Two Bears, One Cave. But it's got Harlan Williams, like Andy Dick. It's got like it's got Babu from Seinfeld, very, very bad man. Like he's in it. But the whole thing is like he's like a slacker, and now he's got to win Employee of the Month to get the girl. But it was never really about Employee of the Month to get the girl. She really liked him for blah 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 blah. But it's just so funny because you work in retail for a long time. But I love these movies that are just these shitty like $10 million one-off. You know, like in The Goods, they end up like getting married and they adopt like a grown man because he thinks it's his kid. And as the movie ends, it's like this character went on to do this. And the main characters, it's like they got married, but annulled the marriage like 2 years later and nobody wanted custody of this kid. And it's like such a fucked up movie. But I miss those kind of like shitty $10 million comedies. Like Sex Drive is a really good
I love that movie.
Like is a really good example. Yeah, dude, just a one-off funny movie that it's not like The Hangover. It's not like we're gonna make a sequel in 20 years like Dumb and Dumber. I just love these kind of like trash, weird, like Sex Drive, the unrated cut. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like and it's just women topless who just walk across the screen?
One of my favorite porn stars is like right at the beginning of the thing.
Oh, really? What's his name? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Her name is Capri. She's fucking hot.
Just Capri, like Cher or like Seal.
Yeah, he's got one name.
What do you like, Seal? But now that's kind of my list. Like I do have those comedies that I love. Obviously anything really from Broken Lizard. I've been beating that dead horse for years. Like, you know, Super Troopers, Beer Fest. Like I love all their movies. Just these, and it's stupid.
Wait, so you must like the Dukes of Hazzard remake, right? Because those guys are in that movie, right?
That guy directed the Indian guy, Jay
Chandeskar.
Chandeskar, thank you. I've always known him as Jay.
He was also in Jackass as well.
Yes. And he's directed like some of like the Goldbergs and shit. Like he actually directs outside of Broken Lizard.
Yeah.
But I loved just this stupid, like in Beer Fest, you know, they play beer pong and stuff. And he's like, I can't play beer pong anymore. They're like, why? He's like, I lost a bet. And somebody shoved a ping pong paddle up my ass. And he was like, well, you know, I'd be afraid too if somebody shoved the handle of a ping pong paddle. He's like, they didn't shove the handle. He's like, I've been shitting flapjacks ever since. And I fucking laughed my goddamn tits off.
That's good.
And it's so stupid, but it's just shit like that. I miss those shitty early 2000s to mid 2000s $10 million comedies. And there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, like Euro Trip and
like shit like that, like just dumb comedies that are just fun and everything works out at the end. But I'm sure I have like more comfort movies that will come to mind. I tell you one right off my mind, The Addams Family, the one with Raul Julia and Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, the Barry Sonnenfeld.
Yes. Is that Angelica Houston? Yes. Okay. That movie we watched like a ridiculous amount on repeat all the time growing up. But that I gotta cut myself off there because I'll have like 9 more if I keep thinking about it.
No, dude, this podcast can go on forever, I think.
I had to like turn my chair because it's like, dude, my fucking legs. I got like, I'm 6'5" of legs. And I'm like, all right, I got to turn my chair like Conan O'Brien over. I got to stretch.
Yeah, I saw you doing that. Let me go ahead and read some of the some of the guys' picks. Jose, thanks for listening, Jose. Thank you for being good. Remember, he says The Never-Ending Story. Now, I never watched that. Have you seen that? I mean, I remember watching a little bit of it in school, but
no, that was not something we would watch growing up, but we didn't have it in the house.
Same, but I know of it, right? He says, growing up, this was something I watched over and over and over again. This movie instilled in me the power of stories and imagination. When someone says, quote, a sense of wonder, The Never-Ending Story comes to mind. Sure, it had scary parts like Artax's death and the Gmork. I'm going to say Gmork's green eyes. And I still can't look at those sphinxes without freaking out a little, but that's part of the charm. Doesn't matter how old I get, whenever I put it on, I'm instantly transported to my childhood where I'm sitting on the floor and being pulled into this movie. You couldn't afford chairs, Jose? Come on, man. Get some chairs.
Nah, kids always camp
get
out
some
in front of the
beanbags.
TV, you asshole.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, bean bags, you
I'm being an
motherfucker.
idiot.
We had blankets, you bitch.
Wow.
It was like,
It will always be a part of my life, and it's always something that I came back to with an open heart.
nice.
Well done,
Hell yeah.
love it. Floyd Fry, in a very Floyd Fry fashion, Wow.
It's a new segment.
He says my quote favorite movie of all time is a cheesy comedy from the 80s titled The Best of Times. I mean, come on. Russell and Williams. It's my favorite movie of all time. Dude, this is a movie with Robin Williams and fucking Kurt Russell.
Oh, shit. That sounds cool.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, what the fuck? That's a great pairing, man.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that. What's it called?
Best Times.
Best Times. I'll have to check that out. If that's one of
Um,
Floyd's favorite movies, it's like, I gotta watch that, dude.
It's gonna be good. Yeah. Now Carlos Freitas suggested something that I came so close to picking, and is probably I should have picked because it is an absolute comfort movie for me. He says Jon Favreau's Chef. Man, do I love that movie, man. Like, I'm not reading Carlos's comment because like this is me just like talking now. I love Chef.
I haven't
Chef
seen it. I know
is-
what you're talking about, but I haven't seen it.
It's on Netflix. Well, I mean, like it's on Netflix for us, but like it's a small scale movie, and it's a movie with such like it wears its heart on its sleeve, right? And Jon Favreau, dude, when like people always forget that he acts as much as he directs.
Mhm.
Like, you know, like he was in Swingers, like he's been in so many things. He was in Sopranos for a little bit as well.
Yeah.
But like, man, you've never seen anything like him and Chef. He's amazing, and it's got an all-star cast as well. Like Scarlett Johansson's in it. Even Robert Downey Jr. shows up for a moment.
Oh, nice.
It's crazy. Highly recommend Chef. Carlos says Jon Favreau's Chef is like a warm hug under a warm blanket while having a warm bowl of soup. Dude, there is a moment in Chef when, because he runs a restaurant and he gets like, there's a food critic that shows up, and this food critic he believes that he has it out for him, kind of thing.
Mhm.
The food critic just reams him out, and Jon Favreau makes a complete utter fool of himself in front of everyone. Favreau goes home and makes what looks like the most scrumptious fucking meal I've ever seen. It's set to the soundtrack is a song called Liquid Liquid, and it's fucking amazing, dude. Like, it's such a great scene. It seems like he made a meal out of just frustration and anger, and instead of like an action scene of like him punching out the critic, it's just that's the action scene, like him going home and making this meal. It's
Yeah.
fucking
Well,
fucking good.
'cause
Like, you gotta watch it.
I heard a lot of it was like kind of symbolic about him, like, you know, because I think isn't it he like a 5-star like at a top restaurant, and then he goes to like a smaller restaurant, or he does something on his own.
Yeah, so the premise is, yeah, he does start off at like this 5-star restaurant. He's a chef, and the person who owns the restaurant is Dustin Hoffman. And Hoffman's idea of what the restaurant should be is at odds with Favreau, what he
Mhm.
wants to make, what he wants to cook. So Favreau just straight up quits, and you know, he makes a fool of himself. He discovers Twitter, and he starts tweeting, and this is all happening kind of at the same time that he is having some issues with his wife, played by Sofia Vergara, of all people.
Oh, of course.
Of course, but also don't forget Scarlett Johansson's in this movie as well, of course.
Yeah.
And like, it's him developing a relationship with his son and finding his kind of like place in like the food world as well. So he from scratch makes this food truck that makes all of these like amazing like Mexican, Spanish food, and they go around like touring, but like while also discovering like the relationship with his son. It's really, really, really,
Yeah, because
really So
I saw something about it where it was kind of supposed to be symbolic of him kind of like getting away from like MCU and stuff like that. It was like, hey, I'm, I'm kind of doing what I want to do now, but I want to go do smaller stuff and go branch away and not just do these movies. And it was like, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I need to check out that movie. You said it's called Chef?
it's called Chef. Yeah. Yeah. You can't say that though. You can't say that you wanted to move away from big budget movies and then go and create The Mandalorian.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Because I wonder if it's like, did you just disagree with people at Marvel and then you're like, nah, I'm good. I did 3 Iron Man movies and that's it. Like,
I can't see him doing that though, because he still works with Marvel. Like, I mean, like, you know, he's Happy Hogan, shows up in Endgame, Far From Home.
Maybe that's more like acting though and not like directing. I don't know. Because I just read, I had read something about Chef, and Chef was like, oh yeah, that's kind of weird because not that he had like a falling out with Marvel, but he was like, okay, cool, I've done this big budget shit, but like, let's go do this movie Chef and get back to like our roots and stuff. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's interesting.
I can't tell you how many times I've come close to choosing Chef for the podcast. I actually think we should cover it. It's such a great warm blanket of a movie.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm
just
down.
such a great time. Carlos goes on to say Scott Pilgrim versus the World, frenetic as it is like visiting an old friend every time.
That metric,
great choice.
That metric soundtrack.
Yeah. The bootleg cut of Almost Famous is actually a lot like what Penny Lane says in the movie. Quote, if you ever get lonely, just go to the record store and visit your friends. I've never seen Almost Famous. I really wanted though.
A long time ago I saw it. It's been a while though.
Okay. Anchors Away is not the greatest musical starring Gene Kelly, but damned if it isn't one of the best I've seen the most. There's something so comforting about that Technicolor palette and that stilted 50s diction. Now, I've never seen Anchors Away, but now that you mention it, another fucking comfort movie of mine is La La Land.
I directed La La Land, but I haven't seen it. No, no, I've never seen either of those.
Amazing. La La Land's amazing, dude. Stephanie Urquhart, who I don't really know. Who are you, Steph?
Oh, I was like, wait, who?
No, I know Stephanie very intimately.
Jesus Christ.
She posted a gif of Blades of Glory. Yeah, I love Blades of Glory.
Another like
it's good.
Mid-budget, stupid, semi-pro, shit like that.
There you go. Yeah. Damien says, so Damien's my best mate. He says Interstellar. And that's obviously, again, at odds with what I said before with Christopher Nolan. But I get where he's coming from with Interstellar because the soundtrack of Interstellar is incredible. And I play that sometimes while I'm working. I play it sometimes while I'm studying, just in the background. Because it's Hans Zimmer, but it's a very different kind of Hans Zimmer. It's very meditative.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very... it gets epic because it's an epic, grandiose movie. But it's very meditative, and there's something about the score in that movie that's really comforting. I think Interstellar is actually a pretty solid pick, and if we are choosing one out of Christopher Nolan's timeline or resume, I think it's going to be Interstellar because there is something kind of weirdly comforting about that movie.
Yeah, I would, if I have to pick, what's the most comforting Nolan, it's probably Prestige, but honestly, Inception. Those moments of Robert Fisher opening the safe and pulling out the parasite, I'm just like,
yes.
Did I tell you a story about going to see Inception in theaters and almost leaving the girl? I was on a date and
let's go.
Yeah, this girl had the same last name as me, which was fucking weird. And I was like,
it is the South.
Yeah. Well, I remember going what if we're related? And she was like, my dad's black. And I was like, oh, that solves that. And she was mixed. So it solved that real quick. Shit. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Never mind. But we went and saw Inception and she fell asleep halfway through it, and I've got my arm around her stuff. And very slowly, I just kind of remove my arm and get the popcorn and just sit up and just start watching Inception. Dude, movie's over. I get up, start walking away and go oh shit. I don't have to wake her up because I fucking almost left her. I swear to God.
Holy shit.
I think I've told this story before in an episode, but I was like, oh yeah, fuck. This. I forgot. I was so enthralled of
what you just saw.
And I was like, dude, it's so good.
Such a great track.
But
that's awesome.
that one is, but Prestige, man. Prestige is really great. I do love that. He's like, no, you don't know. Because I love Hugh Jackman in that. He's like, you don't know why we even did this. We did it for the thrill. And it's like, oh, that's good shit, mate. But yeah, you want to
Man's grasp sees his nerve.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what he says?
Yes, man, something. He's like, he's like, do you know what this machine will cost? And he's like, money's not an option. He's like, not the money, but the cost. It's like, that's fucking good. Just
God damn it.
Look
I'm so
over
glad that he was able to work with him.
Yes. Just look over at Bowie and just want him sometimes. I just wanted one time for him just look there. Don't you wonder sometime? You ever listen to Bowie? You ever listen to Bowie at all?
Yeah.
Lindsay's a hardcore David Bowie fan. I have nothing against him. I like a handful of songs, but there's just something about his voice sometimes that pisses me off. And it's
voice, man.
I know, but I love his like, don't lean on me, man, because you can't afford the ticket up in Suffragette City. Like, I love 70s Bowie, but 80s Bowie gets kind of like that dancing in the streets with Jagger shit, and it's like, nah, I think I'm good. Like, I love his like 70s. I'm doing a bunch of coke and I've got alter egos. And I'm like, hell yeah!
There's a charm about it, though. There's a charm about it.
There is, but like, I think that I don't know. I like Bowie, and I love like China Girl. Like, I love certain songs. But there's sometimes that I'm like, this guy gets on my nerves a little bit. Like, if it's Queen or Bowie, fuck Bowie, dude. I'm going Queen so hard. Dude, I've got to get out of here, and then I'll tell you this funny story. But I was reading a Queen biography about them being in like...
whoa.
Yeah.
You were reading a Queen biography?
One of like 3 I've read.
Shut the fuck up.
But there was, when they wrote Under Pressure, I think they were in like Sweden or something. They were overseas. They weren't in the UK, but of course they were like fucking doing a bunch of blow, and they start kind of jamming, and that doesn't really go anywhere. But John Deacon kind of plays that little doom 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 doom. But they all take a break and go out to get something to eat. They drink, they eat, whatever. They come back, they start doing blow again, and it was Bowie who's like, "Hey, Deaky, what's that thing you played on bass?" And he started playing something that was similar to it, but it wasn't the exact thing. And as John Deacon is playing the bass, Bowie just comes up and grabs it, and he's like, "No, that's not what you were playing." And John Deacon goes, "You can get your fucking hands off my bass." And it's like, oh shit. And it's like little quiet, curly-headed John Deacon of Queen telling Bowie, like, get your hand off my fucking bass. It's like, oh, like, you're fucking with the dude who wrote Another One Bites the Dust. Fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, but like, don't come over here and grab
man.
my shit, man. But I think they're both assholes. Mercury and Bowie. Come on, dude. They're probably the cockiest motherfuckers that I'm sorry. One last story.
Son of a bitch.
Dude, you'll love
Son
this.
of a bitch.
So my girlfriend's brother, his girlfriend, I guess, whatever. My future brother-in-law's girlfriend, her dad was part of a recording studio, and there's like a lot of photo, and I don't want to say, I don't want to give out names or anything like that. But there's a lot of photos of him with like Bowie and people, and apparently his thing, I think it was EMI was the record label, but he was like, yeah, there's pictures of like Freddie Mercury and her dad like hanging out in the 70s and shit. And I was like,
what?
And I was like, I'm vaguely related to this person in a weird way. And I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. But he worked at EMI and was like one of the upper guys, but he gave David Bowie like a portable CD player, at the time. And he was like, hey, here's the demo of your album. He's about to get on a plane. And I was like, dude, this story is bullshit. And then I looked him up and I was like, oh no, this guy's for real. Like this guy. And I was kind of the same thing. Like, I don't know about this. But he gave David Bowie this portable CD player. And David Bowie's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, it plays CDs. Like you can listen to your demo while you're on the plane. And David Bowie was like, he just kind of stared at the CD player and he was like, I don't understand and he was like, there's a music in here. You just turn it on and play it. And he was like, this is the nicest thing anyone's ever gotten for me. And he was so like taken aback by like, you bought me a CD player. Like, thank you. And at first it's like, okay, maybe that story is a little exaggerated. No, this guy was like one of the heads at EMI for a while. And I was like, oh shit. And then I saw where he lived and I was like, okay, yeah, that guy fucks with EMI for sure. That guy was definitely like hanging out with Bowie and like Freddie Mercury and shit. And I was like, I think Queen signed with a different record label in England, but their shit got put out through EMI in America. I think that's how it
that
worked.
makes sense. Yeah,
I think so.
that makes sense. Like international and domestic. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But no, that's my funny. And I was like, dude, you got to fucking meet Mercury, man. That's baller. I was like, that's so fucking baller. But I mean, that's pretty much us for us. You got anything else? You got any funny stories before we get out of here? Anything good? Get it out now.
Nothing really that can follow that.
Yeah, it's nothing that can meet some dude who fucking hanging out with David Bowie. No,
Right.
because when I first heard the story, I was like, "There's no fucking way." And then I looked it up and I was like, "Okay, no, never mind. This guy is actually legit." But guys, thanks for
That's
listening. Thanks for listening to us ramble there at the end. I had a couple of funny stories I was thinking of, but thanks for always supporting us and being a member of the Green Room. Spread the love, spread the word, let everybody know about it. It's $5 a month. Same thing for everyone. We're building that backlog. And if you haven't rated and reviewed us on iTunes for some reason, get to it, check it out, and tell your friends about us. I've had a lot of fun. Zoheb, this has been a blast. Tell these people good night.
Good night, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
See you later.